Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We have a celebrity faculty amongst us. Braj Mohan Prabhu just arrived. Give a big Haribol. He'll be teaching coaching, some execution, maybe situational leadership, depending upon how much time he spends on coaching. He'll get into other topics, which you will see him around. So try to take advantage of his association, his availability. People pay him a lot of money to get his time. And he wanted to sit through this class. This time is very precious because we're trying to coordinate what we do. So when you work on your action learning project, you're developing a strategic plan, maybe we can integrate what he does, coaching. But more details on that later. That's the preface introduction. So where did we leave off before lunch? Anybody remembers? SWOT analysis. Okay. So in the SWOT we got strengths and weaknesses. Really good. To get opportunities and threats, you have to refer back to your test analysis. So let's take 10 minutes because that should be easy. You know what opportunities and threats are. We already talked about some. So go through your own pest analysis, identify 5 opportunities and 5 threats, if you can. And once you have done this, then we'll put these 4 things together and we will identify how to leverage our strengths to take care of or to take advantage of the opportunities, etc. So 10 minutes, 33, 43. So you clear. Krishna? I think most groups are almost finished. Yes? Okay. So let's go around. Let's start there in the middle this time. Right there in the back first, yeah. Yeah. Okay, and you give me, let's say there are 6 groups.
No.
5, 10. Give me 2 opportunities. And this is for African BBT.
Opportunities, population increase.
Okay, please speak a little louder.
And opportunity is population increase.
Okay, so projected increase in population, so projected increase in our market. Okay, good.
Effect of management of public. Oh. And threats.
No, another opportunity.
Itself. What is that?
Not enough light to read?
I can see it from here. Yeah. Maybe I'll just take over. The second opportunity is the fact that most of the governments that we found under the political area of the PES analysis,
Just 1 second. Maharaj, yes.
the
please.
governments are favorable.
Okay, so favorable governments
And
in
that-
Africa.
Yes, that presents a good
That
opportunity
presents
for
an
us to
opportunity.
leverage.
Okay,
Yes,
so to
leverage.
establish
Yes.
some rapport with them and
Yes.
promote your books.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Are we ready? Okay. So you have, please take mic. Yeah,
I
so
pick,
give us 2
I-
opportunities.
so opportunities one can be lead the market of the Indian spiritual books.
Okay,
So there is a lack of, there is no leader nowadays.
so they have identified that there is no leader of Indian spirituality books. And so they see that as an opportunity. Okay?
Another one. So making devotee customer and customer loyal, better loyal and committed.
Okay, so making your customers loyal customers, that's an opportunity. Right now, because of the monopoly, they have no choice. They have to come, but they don't have a loyalty. The moment they see another opportunity, another vendor, they are perhaps going to go there. So make them loyal so they will stick with us, okay? All right, good. You want to share one threat?
One trend is poor professionality. So we don't have enough professional
Oh, okay,
competence
so lack of professionalism,
Yeah,
lack
yeah.
of professionalism in our
in our BBT.
literature.
Not everywhere, but not in our literature. How to present. So there are people that are much more into that, no, and much more professional.
Okay, so this is related to not the literature, but related to the persons that we have.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is a treat, no, because there is this lack of professionality
Okay.
cannot give a bad result.
Okay, so lack of professionalism
Yeah.
is seen as a threat.
Another point can be the other religious groups that are strongly organized.
Mm.
And they are just really pushing, their literature in a very systematic way. They are present in many bookstore, in any bookstore, like as a BBT. Mostly we are not in the bookstore, so the people they can buy the books on the street, but when they had to do some research about the Indian spirituality, they didn't find the books, our books, very rarely. In some occasion, but mostly in Europe is like that.
Okay.
So you can find the Prabhupada books in the bookstore.
Okay, so there are no Prabhupada's books in the bookstores, and there are other publishers. And you want to name some of the groups?
So
Like-
as far as they know, the most relevant in all this is Osho.
OSHA.
Osho, Osho is ex-Rajneesh. No?
Yeah.
He's very, very present. They are very strongly. They are working in a very systematic way. They practically put their books everywhere. So if someone want to know something about the Indian spirituality,
Mhm.
the most common book that they found is Osho.
Okay. So they see other spiritual groups presenting a threat to their audience, okay, potential audience. Okay. Osha.
Osho.
O-S-H-A.
O-S-H-O. It's
Pune-based.
Rajinesh. You remember Rajinesh in the past? Yes. They changed the name.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's give it to this group here. Maharaj, please.
Two opportunities.
Two opportunities.
Increased awareness of religious belief among the people.
Awareness of religious beliefs, okay.
Yeah. Copyright belongs to BBT.
Okay, so that's it. It's an opportunity, yeah? Not a strength.
Strength.
Strength and opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay. One more.
Government is favorable. to
Government favorable. Okay, that's an opportunity.
BBT and
Very
ISKCON both.
Okay, wonderful. Can you give us two threats?
One threat is more centralization. Like the Bangladesh people, if they want to buy book, they should print Chennai, Bombay, then will go to Dhaka. Carrying cost is extra. And then it allowing other books to print. That is, Bangladesh are printing other writers apart from Srila Prabhupada. So their publication more than Prabhupada's BBT publication.
Centralization. No, I got it.
Second.
Okay, give me an external threat. External threat coming from the outside, from the environment.
High influence about technology. High influence of technology.
High influence of technology.
People are not reading
Okay, yes.
hard
yes.
book.
Okay. All right. So increase in the e-books.
E-books.
People moving more towards
Yeah.
digital media rather than print books. Okay, that's a threat.
Copyright will expire one day.
Okay. Expiration of copyright in the next few years. Hopefully not, but yeah, that's a potential threat. Thank you, Maharaj. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's continue with Indian BBT. And please say different if you remember what they said.
Yes. In opportunities, Maharaj, both are high volume opportunities that we would like to highlight. One is entry into the school book syllabus. Because already it's happening with value education books. It's starting in some way, but that's a huge opportunity area because then we catch them young and pick up the reading habit. So that is one.
Absolutely. You know that in Haryana, they have already
Yes,
done that.
Gita is already part of the
Yes.
syllabus.
Okay, very
Now, the second one, Maharaj, is that historically, in all railway stations in India, it's Ramakrishna Mission which has got their book stalls. And for the time being, there's an embargo on any new allotments. But if we keep lobbying with the railway minister, and there are some efforts in that direction, that happens. India has the highest rail traffic population. Also, these are two huge opportunity areas.
Okay, great.
Orissa in one place, and in Delhi we have got for some smaller stations, but for the main stations we are still trying. So that's a big opportunity, right? That happens, and also in Bombay.
Okay, now let's focus on some socio-cultural trends and how they present as an opportunity.
Yeah. So one thing that we've seen is that you said specifically socio-cultural or political is also, because we
So
are different.
just do socio-cultural and then political.
Okay. Socio-cultural, one thing which is seen that there is a huge Indian diaspora in many foreign countries, and BBT India doesn't have enough books in Punjabi, Sindhi and Malayalam, which are three very high volume populations outside India. For example, the Punjabi Gita came out less than 5 years back. For a language, there is huge numbers.
Okay.
So that's a huge aspect that we are missing out on.
Okay, that's good. I want you to relate to a trend in
Yeah.
Indian society
Yeah.
that presents an additional opportunity for BBT.
Okay. Because 2-3 of them which we had have already been covered. I'm just trying to see what
Okay,
else has been.
just say it again. It's okay.
Okay. The one thing is that we did see that reading habits have dipped. The number of there is a dip in people reading books. So therefore, hard copy books. So and reading in general. But we've seen therefore that the opportunity presents itself in the form of, earlier we had presented smartphones numbers being high. So ebooks, audiobooks, Flipkart and Amazon are areas that we can get into tie-ups of. And the, connected to that is we can have search engine optimization for BBT India website, because the problem is that if you type ISKCON also, many of the sites will go up or Ritvik now, even if you go on net first. So BBT India needs to go up there. So search engine optimization, because India has, the net traffic in India has is very, very huge. Even rural India, okay, this is another socio-cultural trend. Rural India has almost 750 million people who are yet to be tapped in terms of internet usage.
Okay.
So there are two opportunity areas that present out of this. Either we increase our village preaching and get more books into there because still people are not on the net.
Sure.
Or alternately, we can try to find out ways in which we can increase internet usage in that area. That is entirely a call that BBT has to take.
Okay. Now this is wonderful because this could be seen as a threat,
Yes,
the e-books,
yes,
people's taste towards digital seen as a threat to print books,
yes,
but you also identify that as an opportunity.
yes, yes.
Very good. Threats?
Threats,
Or did you want to say something about political situation?
yeah, so that comes in the threats part, so I'll just
Okay.
mention that. One thing is we have seen that the current government, although it's pro-ISKCON, at the center and in some states, it's also pro-labor. So now we have seen that from 2015 in India, the labor costs are going up for all temples because all charitable institutions now will have to compulsorily pay provident fund to the employees. And many of our trusts which are handling commercial activities will perforce also be covered under that. So the labor costs are going to go up in a significant way, and it may go up even higher because the way the trend's going in terms of being pro-labor.
Okay, but currently, you have your own printing press.
No,
not
it's all
subcontracted.
outsourced, but we
It's
still have to,
outsourced.
the cost will go up. They will pass on the cost to us
Oh.
in many cases.
Okay, okay. Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, let's go to North American BBT.
So in regards to the Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
it's working.
It's all right. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. A lot of these have already been said. So if we go through to one opportunity in regards to a social trend where you have a more health conscious society. Well, there's a larger proportion of people getting interested in health and health related issues, diet, things like that. So there's a good opportunity for the BBT to do more publications such as the revision of our cookbooks with a Christian conscious slant to it. So then basically we could basically market it towards this increasing, population of people.
Okay.
That was one thing. And I'll just see if there's anything else that hasn't been mentioned. There is here one which is we still have the freedom to practice and preach Krishna consciousness in America and Canada through the BBT and through their books.
Okay.
So that's still a favourable situation for us.
Okay. Now let me say something about that.
Yeah.
See, that's not a trend. It has always been like that.
Mhm.
It's an untapped opportunity, yes.
Ah.
We were not capitalizing on it. But if you can identify a trend like you did the first one, health consciousness, do you have another trend in any field? Political, socio-cultural, cultural, or technological? Could you read another trend?
Eastern philosophy. Okay, so there's also an increasing trend towards Eastern philosophy,
Okay.
Indian philosophy, and so there's an actual increasing market which the BBT can look at tapping into in that regard. So then, in regards to the
Okay.
regards to the threats, I thought I'd just go on to the e-books again. We noticed that the e-books are both an opportunity, which has already been elucidated upon, and also a threat. So I
Okay.
thought I'd just say a couple of threats that haven't been mentioned so far. With Amazon.com and all these other companies starting online, basically people are spending their disposable income more readily on e-books, which is taking their money away from purchasing hardback books. This can actually affect our ashrams and temples. So first of all, it could potentially reduce the amount of books that we sell because they're purchasing them online, and they could be purchasing their spiritual books from another organization online. Now, a second thing is in regards to markup. So some centers, they might have a certain policy, they might sell their book for twice the price, and then they get a margin. Whereas when you're selling the things online, generally it might be a lower margin.
Yeah.
So therefore you might have some temples or ashrams, brahmachari ashrams, which might be reliant upon income from the book sales, and this could potentially affect their income.
Okay.
So that's a threat.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's plenty. Thank you very much. Very good points. Okay, Australia. So, two opportunities preferably that have not been presented yet, and a couple of threats.
Um, opportunities, ISKCON temples are increasing efforts in book distribution, are increasing efforts, and book distribution is overall increasing in the Australian and New Zealand temples.
Okay, so book distribution is increasing, so BBT business should increase, BBC
Yes,
production.
but
Okay.
then, well, we could leverage that.
We can now
So-
this is an internal trend. You know, it's our kind of our loyal customer. Something some external stuff.
Well, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's good. I just want to see some trend in the environment, other than the outside environment, external environment, if you will.
Okay, well, I don't think we've got anything new to add.
Or
It's
nothing
all-
different.
all-
Okay. Okay.
All been covered
Okay.
pretty
Do you
much.
have something else internal? Another opportunity that relates to our
No,
no. That's
no,
it.
no,
Okay.
and, because they're a customer, then you would naturally assume that they're, and you know, they're the only customer, actually.
They're the
in
only
many
customer.
respects.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Okay.
regardless of all of the other trends, if ISKCON, we may be aware of the outside trends, but that needs to be leveraged with ISKCON, our major customer, because they're doing most of our marketing for us at this
Yes,
point in
yes,
time.
yes,
And
that's correct.
in fact, that's a weakness, that we depend, BBT depends on ISKCON,
Mhm.
or just lets
Mhm.
ISKCON do its own marketing.
Yeah.
So,
So basically, what's happening is we have a producer, BBT, and then they have a wholesaler or multiple wholesalers that are our temples. And these wholesalers then go to retailers, and the retailers are the book distributors, individual book distributors. They go and sell to the direct customer. Okay, but yeah, that's good. That's what it is, yes.
we'd be kind of silly to think that that's not our most important relationship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You're right.
But if we see these other trends, mind you,
Mm.
we can inform them of what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Any other threat?
Threats, we've got, well, the decline in e-purchasing and the decline in books overall purchasing
Okay.
in Australia. Lifestyle changes. Australia's got the third, what do we say? It's the third largest emerging market for vegans
For
in
vegans?
in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So, what was it? They're saying $200 million, $200 million turnover per year by 2020.
Hmm. So that should be an opportunity.
Yeah, we've got it here. Increased market demographic based on market trends, yoga, veganism, spirituality, etc. in opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah, but threats around the relationship with ISKCON. If
Okay.
ISKCON's not strong, then our sales are not strong.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So we are all clear about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. When you go back to your zones, you should be able to do it. No problems, right, Vishwavasu Prabhu? You're 10 out of 10 on that confidence? Confidence level 10 out of 10? All right. Anybody below 5? No one, right? Perfect. Okay, so what we are going to do, the next step related to strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats is, can we pass out the sheet, the Appendix C sheet? We're going to put these together. Up there we'll have opportunities and threats, and on this side we are going to put strengths and weaknesses. And so then you look at the 4 quadrants that you get. If you combine the strengths with the opportunities, so this is one quadrant. Strengths to mitigate threats, to minimize your threats. Then you have your weaknesses. Weaknesses are also in a way an opportunity. We can overcome these weaknesses, or we can minimize these weaknesses, and we use that to leverage the opportunities. Okay? And this one here, we have in this quadrant, we have certain weaknesses and there are these threats. We want to minimize weaknesses and avoid threats. So what this is called is, this one is called min-min, minimize weaknesses, minimize threats. This one is called min-max, minimize your weakness and maximize your opportunities. This one is maximize both, maximize your opportunities and strengths. And over here you do max-min, maximize your strengths and minimize the threats. So use your strengths to minimize the threats. So this will, when we put these two together, when we look at these two together, combinations, and this is where you need this art of developing strategies. Now this is not mechanical. See, up until now, we looked at strengths, there were facts, you know, right? We looked at the market trends, it was out there, easy picks. Now you have to really use your brain to look at the combination, strengths and opportunities. How can we maximize, how can we utilize our strengths to exploit these opportunities? Okay, so we will get into that a little later, because we don't really know what our vision is for the BBT yet, right? And we haven't quite figured out the mission, the reason for existence for the BBT. We did our foundation, we did our values, our beliefs, so we have some information. So the methodology that we used here in this group was to first collect all the information that's out there, okay? And now come to the drawing board and start with the mission statement. What is the mission of the BBT? As I said earlier, we could have done it backwards. We could have started with the mission, but then you wouldn't have known so much about the environment, you wouldn't have known so much about the BBT. Now you have done strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. You have a really good idea about what BBT is about or what it should be about. See, the mission statement is what's the reason for our existence. We may not be doing a good job yet. Even if we are doing a good job, we want to get better. We want to do a better job. So the mission that we put, even though mission is why we exist, it doesn't have to be what we currently do. We don't have to constrain ourselves to what we currently do, because we may not be doing what we're supposed to do. Okay? So based on the documents that you have read, 7 purposes of ISKCON, the agreement, now you have a better idea as to how we should formulate our mission. So I'll share some slides with you, and if I can get some help with the projector. Okay, I'm going to start with the mission statement. And so, you know, using the terminology Sambandha, Prayojana, and Abhidheya. So we have to know our goal, that will be vision. We have to know where we are and what we do. So that's part of the mission statement. Why do we exist? This you already knew, right? This is what mission is. If somebody asks you what is mission, mission is Why do we exist? The purpose, reason for our existence. Okay. Let's see. Not moving forward. Okay, it's not on. Maybe needs a battery. Do you have another? It's on. I think it needs battery. Anyway, let me just do it by hand. Okay, so you see that? Why do we exist? And this is a description of the purpose of this organization. It's for both. It's for devotees as well as for the outside public. When they read your mission statement, they should be able to figure out as to what you do, who you are. Okay, this should work now. No? You didn't do anything. Ah, that is what is missing. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so clear? When we are developing our mission statement, yes, Anuruddha Prabhu, take the mic.
Is it possible that one's mission, especially the BBT's mission, could change over time in the sense that, as I understand it, Srila Prabhupada established the BBT to protect the asset more than anything else. The main motivation for Prabhupada hiving off the BBT from ISKCON was to protect his book publishing vehicle just in case ISKCON didn't survive, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's not a marketing reason or a response. Well, it is a response to environment, I guess, in one sense, but the main purpose was to protect the business from the weakness of being connected. So, so I'm not sure how relevant that is today, right? Because ISKCON's quite a huge organisation now. But is it possible that the BBT's mission now is different than when Prabhupada envisaged it then, and so that's why this is appropriate
It
now.
is possible, and the mission can also change. So let's just hold off on that thought. It's a very good point. Let's learn more about mission, and then I'll tell you whether it can change or not change. Okay. All right, so Prabhupada's mission. Prabhupada uses this word, mission, in 1976. So Prabhupada has clearly spelled out the mission of his Guru Maharaj, his mission, and the mission for all of us. Okay. And this was back in 1976 when strategic planning was not so popular, even in the corporate world. In the developed countries, yes, they had barely started talking about it, but in India, it didn't exist at the time. It was called corporate planning back in those days when it started. And that too mostly in the 80s, not that early. So how to create a mission statement? So if you answer these questions, why do we exist? What is the problem that we are trying to solve? Or what is the need? So again, purpose for existence. What are the results that your project, your temple, in this case BBT, seeks to accomplish? We have the 7 purposes, we have the BBT agreement. How will your organization achieve its purpose? And I'll get this email to you, so you don't need to write this down. How will you organize? How will your organization achieve its purpose? How will you organize to achieve the purpose? and who is your target market. Now, having done all the groundwork that we did our audience. Yes, we looked at the values and beliefs, the reason for our existence. Now this should be much easier. Now imagine the first day when you came here and I started with this. I mean, there is no easy way to start. Wherever you start, it's going to be difficult, right? The first thing that we did, that was also kind of relatively difficult. Values, what are the values? But this is the reason, I chose the sequence that I did. Okay, and geographically speaking, in your case, you already know what the geography of your BBT is. Okay, so clear? So mainly these. Now in this case, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 W's and 1 H. Why do you exist? What results? Who is your target? And where are they located? And there is a fifth W2 because there are 5. Whom? For whom do you do this work? So that's your who or whom. So that's how you can remember, these W's and 1 H. Okay. All right, let's look at a sample. If I presented this to you, this may not be the best mission statement that you have seen, but here is one for a BBT. Produce, publish, and make available Srila Prabhupada's teachings all over North America or all over Australia. Now, each and every word is very important. There shouldn't be any extra word in there, okay? Because people are going to read this, you're going to read it. It should be clear, easy to memorize, easy to remember. So let's look at each and every word that is there. And there you go. It says produce, publish. What's the difference between produce and publish? Why not simply say publish? It does not in anywhere doesn't say books. Why didn't we straight away say publish Prabhupada's books and distribute all over North America? Any ideas? I'm sorry? Okay, please take the mic.
Because there's different forms of media that you can make available?
Different forms of media, because if you want to go the e-books route, that's produce will include that. Okay? Publish and make available. We are also the distributors. We are not simply producing. We are making them available. And one of the things that you mentioned is that the Bangladesh people, they have to get it in India. So we are not making it available. So make it available. Prabhupada, or I read in this groups that they want to, I think it's somewhere in Prabhupada's work, that a book in every home. Did you read that in the 7 purposes, or is it in the agreement? You have it? Okay. So Microsoft's mission statement is to have a computer at every desk and every home. Similarly, Ford Motor Company, when they started making the first mass-produced car, their mission was to make a car basically available to every household. Yes, Prabhuji, use your microphone.
Prabhu, you give 2 examples right now about Microsoft and Ford, about their mission. So Microsoft to have a computer at each home. So there seems to be
A vision.
2 missions in one sense.
2 missions. In
2
one,
missions
okay.
in the sense that Microsoft actually wants to make money in the end. The goal of any organization, outside organization, is to make money.
Mhm.
So whether you're selling a car
Mhm.
or you're selling a computer, the goal is end goal is to make money. So here also I am seeing something, this mission statement seems to be a little different from what we saw in the earlier slide about Srila Prabhupada's mission being to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world.
So that is Prabhupada's mission. Now we're
Okay.
talking about BBT's mission.
Okay,
This is BBT's mission.
okay, so they are different.
I mean, there is no right or wrong. this is, I am just saying, this is one presentation. You may not agree with it.
No, no, no.
You can come up with a better statement. No, no, I'm not feeling defensive. I'm just saying that there is no right or wrong mission statement. Okay. So it has to be devised for your BBT, and you may word it differently, as long as it meets the criteria that I had earlier. If it tells us this information, then it's a good mission statement.
Yeah, I'm saying there seems to be the results at different stages. One goal of the BBT is to produce and publish books, and the other goal could be to make devotees, as we say, make devotees.
Okay. All right. So as I said, feel free to add to this statement. If you think that's the goal of BBT based on the BBT agreement and the 7 purposes, we should add that here.
Okay.
Okay. Any other observations, comments, questions? But while you do that, you have to make sure that we remain focused. We don't want to, bite more than what we can chew, as they say. Please go ahead.
Similar, just so that I understand, because it appears that that we're working with an organization that already has a mission.
Yes.
And so are we, what exactly then are we doing if we're making a mission statement for an organization that has a mission?
Good point. So let's go with that. First of all, there is no published statement of the BBT that I'm aware of. No published mission statement of the BBT. Are you aware of? Okay. Do they have a mission? There is an implicit mission. In their mind, they have a mission. And their mission is to print books. To print Prabhupada's books. That's their implicit mission. It's not stated. So a mission statement has to be explicit statement that we understand, internal users, and that the public also understands. So if somebody Googled BBT website and they had a mission statement, if it only said print Srila Prabhupada's books, they will understand that this is a printing business. It doesn't talk about e-books. It doesn't talk about distributing books. Okay? And it doesn't talk about printing anybody else's books. Over here, it says, make available Prabhupada's teachings all over North America. So the medium can be any medium. And we're not talking about only those books that are written by Prabhupada. Prabhupada's teachings that can be culled out in the form of another book. Maybe somebody else, you write a book. It's all based on Prabhupada's teachings. Right? So we are not constraining ourselves to only Prabhupada's books.
In one sense, the mission of the BBT is in the 7th purpose of the ISKCON. The 7th purpose is to publish, is the mission of the BBT, in one sense. No?
In our assessment, does BBT say that? Have you heard this from any BBT?
But BBT was created just to fulfill the 7th purpose of ISKCON.
Okay.
In one sense, is the mission statement. Just to publish book and to achieve all the previous point that Prabhupada made. So like 6th purpose of ISKCON, and the 7th is to publish.
Exactly, yes. So the 7th purpose, yes, that clearly says publish books.
Yeah.
Periodicals and magazines, and yes. But again, do we want to keep the mission that restricted? That only publish those periodicals, journals, and this and that? Because back in those days, e-books were not so prevalent.
Why we have to keep so strict? Maybe you can enlarge.
Yes, I agree with you. We should enlarge.
But it's not written. There is not any limitation there. In the probably this published book, magazine, or whatever it is. At that time, it was not a technology. Internet was not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we agreeing or are we disagreeing with this statement? Agreeing? All right, thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Okay, any other questions or observations? Again, you don't have to go by this. Okay, you walked in just now. Can somebody explain what the difference is? Shri Prabhu, please use the microphone if you have one. More? Oh, I'm sorry. He's first.
Really, this, I don't know whether to call it a funda question or what, but we normally talk about vision and mission.
Vision and mission, yes.
Where one understanding is that vision is a little bit more generic.
Mhm.
Something like if Prabhupada says, save the world, that is
Yes.
a mission of, vision of, say, ISKCON and BBT.
Mhm.
And mission would be a little bit more specific. How do we save the world? Is that understanding correct or is it the other way around?
Okay, well, Prabhu, it works both ways. Some people do a very crisp mission statement and a very detailed vision statement. Others do very crisp vision statement and a more detailed mission statement. But what you have to understand is vision is future. Where do you see yourself down the road? And we are getting there. Mission is, again, back to this slide. Always remember, why do you exist? What's the purpose of existence? Who do you exist for? What results are you trying to accomplish? Who is your target audience? And how will you achieve it? So if you look at these questions and then look at this statement, does it meet that criteria or not? Okay? And again, as I said, this may not be the perfect statement, but this is just one sample. Okay? All right, this is another one. Look at this. You all familiar with ISKCON Online? How many of you know about ISKCON Online? Oh. Well, please do me a favor. After the session, Google iskononline.org. This is the mission statement for ISKCON Online. Very detailed, but gives you a good idea as to what they do. But that's their choice. This is what they did. If you look at their vision statement, that's 2-page long. Convert, I know, it's a very strong word. I was surprised to see that too. I'm going to write to them. Good observation, Prabhu. Okay. Yes.
One of the scary aspects that I say in this is, I believe Hare Krishna movement is a registered trademark of you know who.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Are there any like general principles or guidelines for producing a mission statement in regards to the length? I mean, we've got that who, why, whom, blah, blah, blah. I got that. But is it like, should it only be, I've heard when I was doing some studies that one, it's either the vision or the mission statement should only be 2 lines, and then the next one should be whatever. I mean, is there any guidelines?
So, no, it can be from 1 line to 1 paragraph. Okay, so there is no restriction on that. As I said, as long as you meet this criteria. Okay. If you can cover these points in 1 sentence, that's good. If it takes you more than 1 sentence, that's fine too.
And so for our purposes, I just want to make sure I've got it right. So you've got the mission statement, that's going to be the brief one, and then the vision, that's going to be the more detailed one. Is that correct?
It's your choice. I'm not going to say anything about that. But if you look at ISKCON Online that I just showed you, their vision is much bigger. But for some, the vision is it's a catchphrase. It's very catchy. You know, for example, what was that? Make the world poverty free or something like that. I mean, it can be, no, let me think of something else. I'll come back to you. But in other words, there are organizations that have very short, crisp vision statement where they want to be.
Are we going to be doing a vision statement?
We will do that. Yes, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, yes, Kavi Karan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So on the BBT page online states that the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust was founded in 1972. Its focus is on publishing classic Vaishnava texts, epics, and contemporary work on philosophy, theology, and culture of bhakti. BBT especially emphasizes the work of the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It looks more broader than the,
Okay.
like you are.
And they don't call it mission statement. Do they call it mission?
I got a good mission statement, I don't know.
No, if you read, does it say? Is it titled?
No.
Or
it's
is it
not.
about us? It's about us, yeah. So they have to define who they are. So mission statement is kind of about us, but a little bit more sophisticated, if you will. Yes, Prabhu? This I'll get it emailed to you, Prabhu. Okay. I'm trying to simplify based on the feedback I received. I have cut back. There was a lot of material in there. There are some other manuals that you're getting. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm trying to keep it simple based on the advice of our dear Devakinandan Prabhu. So you don't have to deal with, there are two things you're learning. One is you're learning what a mission statement is. And then you have to deal with all these foreign words. Yes, see, he's shaking his head. Yes, Prabhuji. No difference. Exactly the same thing. Yes.
You know that mission statement of BBT?
Yeah, that's a full paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. So purpose is, so let's go back to, so over here, purpose is just the first part right here. Why do you exist? That's the purpose. And then this is what results you are trying to achieve, who is your target audience, where are these target areas, and how will you achieve that purpose. Okay. So a little bit more than that. And so we can be, in other words, the choice of words, you have to be really careful. We will not do that wordsmithing here. I just giving you an idea. When you do a statement for your zone, please make sure that you pick your words carefully and it should represent the purpose of your zone. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. So these are two examples of mission statements. What's a vision statement? So in our Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana framework, Damodar Maharaj, Hare Krishna. So what does vision mean? In that framework that Kaunteya Prabhu presented, Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. Please grab the mic. Vision is?
Vision is Abhidaya.
Abhidaya. What do you say, Prabhus? What do you say, Kavi Karanpur? Please use the mic.
Prayojana.
It's Prayojana. Okay. What do you say, Prabhus? Prayojana? Okay. Maharaj, Prayojana means goal, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So vision is goal, where we want to go. Okay. So where do we want to go? That's the vision. And they say, if you don't know where you want to go, then every road will take you there. Or any road will take you there. It's a Chinese proverb. Right? So it's Mayavadis, yes. So it's your inspiration, and it will serve as the foundation or framework for your entire strategic planning. So start thinking about the vision for your zone. Right now we're doing the BBT assignments. For this BBT, what's the vision? Where do you want this to be in 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road? So what will success look like in 10 or more years? So that's what your vision is. For its members, it gives direction. How they are expected to work, how they are expected to behave. It inspires them to give their best. And as I said, it's a description of the future you are trying to create for your yatra, for your temple, project, or zone. Clear? The goal, where you want to be. Now let's see some guidelines as to how we can make a vision statement. And I'll share with you Prabhupada's vision statement. So in other words, you don't have to, when you go to a forest, there are a lot of trees. Vision is not looking at the trees. Vision is just looking at from a distance and looking it as a forest where you don't see the individual trees. See the bigger picture, okay? And here is a vision example from Prabhupada. Please take a minute to read. Very nice. So basically, you have to distance yourself. That's how you can look at the future. Okay? If you're too close to what you do, you are just every day, you are basically bogged down by, you're fighting fires. You are just looking at, this is the problem, and you don't get to see the future. So to see the future, sometimes people say you rent a helicopter and fly above your organization. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Look from a distance. That'll give you an idea about the future. Okay, so how does this sound like a vision statement for a BBT? Yes, Prabhu, please use the microphone if there is one.
When you say best quality provider, that means you are admitting our quality is not good?
It may be good. We're not commenting on the existing thing. We are commenting on what we want to be.
What about just only, what largest and quality provider?
Largest and best quality provider. Please use the microphone. Please use the microphone.
Other organizers also, they have a distribution system. They distribute Bibles and other books also. So we should have a best quality to distribute. So maybe.
Yeah, but Prabhuji is saying, does it mean that currently our quality is not good?
There's scope for improvement every time.
There is, yeah, but again, this is not a reflection of what we are currently doing. This is our goal. We may already be doing part of it, but that's what we want to do. But based on the feedback that we received, okay, please use the microphone.
The one reason it may be okay to say so is that apart from becoming the best quality, we're specifically stating that this is in every nook and corner of North America, which we may not be. It also states that to be the best, largest and best quality provider of Srila Prabhupada teachings in every nook and corner of North America, which we may not be currently.
Okay.
So therefore it makes sense.
Yeah, it can be interpreted in different ways. But yes, please go ahead.
Does it need every nook and corner?
Does it need every nook and corner?
Because if it's a vision and it's supposed to be more broad, then I mean, maybe it does, but wouldn't it make just leaving it as in North America be the same thing?
Yeah, it could be. You can cut some words down, but this is just to kind of emphasize in every town and village. We could say, all over the world. Why do we have to say every town and village? So it's a personal choice. So as long as it conveys the meaning to you, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
So why to be the largest? Because,
Because-
a vision, no, in my understanding, vision is something that you want to be. Why to be? It's like just a way to go there. We want to be. Vision normally is, BBT is the largest and best quality provider of Srila Prabhupada books. So we have an affirmation.
It's not such a big thing, but generally speaking, vision is stated in a future tense. It's a future thing. That's where we want to go. So we want to be there. And if we, as I said, if we are already there, then that's what we are already doing. That it's not
But
where we
the
want to
vision
go.
is bringing us there. Just to let's see if I understood, because when you were talking, I make one vision to me about the BBT is drive to the future by spiritual teachings, no? Like a kind of motto, vision. Drive to the future by spiritual teaching.
Oh, say that again.
Drive to the future
Drive to the future.
Yeah.
Drive to the future
by spiritual teaching.
by spiritual teachings.
So that's, in my understanding, this can give it the vision, and is not connected to the temporary situation, because it's always always true, because you are always driving to the future, the people. To me, the vision is something like that. It gives you the sense of what you are doing and where you are to go, and just sense of moving.
Okay.
In this way, it says something that you want to become, and like an expectation, not exactly a vision. I'm just asking, not commenting, asking what you think about.
Drive to the future by spiritual teachings. Let's ask the class, the other candidates. Okay, he's stating a vision for a BBT, saying drive to the future with spiritual teachings. Drive to the future with spiritual teachings. Okay.
Address to the devotee or to the general public? Because general public, if you go too specific, you bring into the...
No, but see, even for us, if we make it so general, spiritual teachings, then anybody tomorrow, I can write something and call it a spiritual teaching. But if we go by the BBT agreement and
The name BBT is there. So BBT vision is, that means BBT provide this.
No, but provide this written by who? This one says Prabhupada's teachings.
Okay.
Right? And again, we don't need to get hung up on how to phrase it, but as long as it's prayojana, that's where you want to be. Whichever way you word it, we can wordsmith it later. Okay? But keep in mind that that's something that you aspire to be. Because if your future is this close to where you are, that's not really a future. You'll get there tomorrow. Okay? So we want to go somewhere where it'll take us, or it'll be good for at least next 10 years. And we continue to aspire to be that. The other thing here, quality. Quality is a very broad term. And if we go around the room asking about the quality of laptops that you use, you will all come up with different answers. Because what is quality to you for this laptop? What does it mean? Just in one word.
Last long.
Last longer, that's durability. That's his version of quality. Maharaj, what do you call quality?
I would mean quality means
I mean, if you have a laptop.
good functioning.
Good function, so it works.
It works.
Okay, all right, so function, it works. Let's go around. Prabhuji, What does quality mean to you for a laptop?
Quality means paper must be good and writing good, binding good.
No, no, no. We're talking about the laptop quality.
Oh,
The laptop that you use. Do you use laptop?
No, I don't use laptop.
You don't use laptop. Maybe pass it on.
Very handy.
Handy. Easy to carry, you
Easy
mean?
to carry.
Light.
Light.
Okay, lightweight.
Function.
Function.
Yeah.
It does what it's supposed to do. Okay, that's called reliability. Okay, let's go back there.
Storage.
Okay.
Speed.
Speed.
State of art.
State
Technology.
of art. Wow. Okay.
Value.
Value. Perfect. I think so. You got an idea? Everybody get a different thing for quality. Okay. So quality has multiple dimensions. This is quality of a product. How about quality of a service? BBT has a product, but it's providing a service to its constituents. ISKCON is a service organization. The prasadam that we give and books that we give, those are just kind of side things. That's not our main thing. Our main thing is to spread Krishna consciousness. We are a service society. So quality for services. What does quality in ISKCON mean to you? Please take a microphone. Quality. How would you describe quality of a service organization, ISKCON, for example? You want to think about it? Let's go to Aniruddha Prabhu. No, just like they described, quality means speed, this, that. What does quality mean?
Friendly.
Friendliness?
Friendly.
Friendly people. That's quality.
Temples are clean.
Cleanliness is quality.
Integrity.
Integrity is quality. Yes, Prabhu?
More devotees, happy devotees.
More devotees, happier devotees. Okay?
Serving attitude.
Service attitude. Wonderful.
Knowledge.
Please use this.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay, knowledgeable people. Prabhuji, would you like to say something? Huh? Please.
Very nice temple.
Nice temple. Yes. Gorgeous temple.
Loving people.
Loving people. Yes.
Loving among people.
Anybody else?
Love and care.
Love and care. Yes. Bhakti Rasamita Maharaj. Please use the microphone.
Something that pleases the acharyas and Krishna.
Ah, that's quality. Wonderful. Okay. Would you like to say something about quality? How would you judge quality of ISKCON?
Personal experiences?
Personal experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. Not impersonal, you loitering, wandering, nobody talks to you. Okay.
Yeah, personal care of.
Care.
Personally caring, yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Spiritual and moral.
Yes.
First class prasadam.
First class prasadam. Okay, good. Jagat Guru Prabhu.
The main spiritual teaching is continued. I mean the
Spiritual
teaching
teaching?
of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam.
Okay, so there is sermons going on all the time. Wonderful. It's a spiritual organization.
The ability to inspire people to change the quality of their life.
Wow. Okay, that's quality. If we have that ability, then we are a quality ISKCON. If not, we're not doing our job. Okay, good.
Should be socially relevant.
Socially relevant is quality. Yes, Prabhu?
Useful.
Useful. Okay. All right. So you see, you ask a person what quality means, it means different things to different people. This is based on what you're looking for. So if we have time, we will get into quality later. But just know that this word quality, it means a lot. So Prabhuji, Devakinandan Prabhu, back to your question, does it mean that we are not doing quality things? I mean, quality means so many things. I don't know how many of these things we are doing already. There's always scope for improvement, both on the product side as well as on the service side. Okay, please, yes.
Can you put that Prabhupada teaching as it is?
As it is, yes, okay, we can do that.
Because they are changing. All the
Okay.
photos are changed from old
Okay.
days.
Okay, we can do that. So as I said, this is your choice. I am just giving you one sample. So this is how a vision statement looks like. Okay. All right, so features of a vision statement, qualities of a good vision statement. It presents where we want to go. Prayojana, easy to read and understand. It captures the spirit of an organization. It's intentionally left dynamically incomplete, meaning it's not so rigid. So there is always room for people to fill in the pieces. It's a place where you want to go 10 years, 15 years down the road. Okay? So we don't want to be so rigid because it's future, right? For that reason, for example, even the way Prabhupada worded things, he was a visionary. He didn't try to constrain us based on what technology was available at the time or what he could do at the time. He left things a little bit vague, if you will. Vague is not a good word. Find a better word for that. But this is better. Dynamically incomplete. Open, okay? Good. And it's a guide for decision making every day. Whatever we're doing, hey, are we reaching towards our goal or not? It gets people's attention. Catchy. And it describes a future state which is preferred and meaningful. It gives people goosebumps, if you know what that means. What's that called in Sanskrit? Yes. Romanchakampa. Okay. Better understanding of how their individual purpose. We talked about systems thinking, remember? Yesterday a little bit, and we're going to do more about that. Everybody, each one of us our primary focus is on the job that we do, right? We're not so much concerned about how it will affect the other department. Yes or no? You are focused on your zone. You don't really care how it will affect the adjacent zone, right? Or the next temple. You are Temple Juhu, you don't really care how it will affect Chopati temple. I'm doing my thing. This Govinda, I have to take care of this. So that is localized thinking. So it gives people a better understanding of how your individual purpose could be utilized in the group. You are one part of the big puzzle. Where do you fit? And how can you play your role so the whole organization moves forward towards the goal? Okay. All right. Provides a motivating force even in hard times. It keeps you inspired. So you think you can write a good vision statement now? It is achievable, at the same time challenging, compelling, and stretching you beyond your comfort zone. Okay. I think that's enough. Well, I'll complete this slide and give it to you later. The difference between mission and vision statement. Okay. All right, if you have no questions, then we can take a break. I think break is a good motivator. People can hold off the questions. It's time for a break. Okay, thank you, devotees. Come back in 15 minutes. I will get you all the slides. Hare Krishna, welcome back. Did you have something to say? Question? Okay, grab a mic. We have to mark Radheshyam Prabhu down for attendance. He's been missing. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, the 7 purposes of ISKCON,
Yes.
given by Srila Prabhupada,
Yeah.
so are they mission or vision or both?
After all that I did, I think you should be able to answer that question.
I'm a little confused about it.
I don't think if we can club all of them in one category. When he made that, you know the date, what date he did it? You have the document. You should check, and then you should be able to answer that question. At that point in time, where was ISKCON? So was this meant to be a mission or a vision? So you know what mission and vision is. So I'll expect that reply from you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Okay? Thank you. Okay, anything else? Anybody else who wants homework? No? It's good homework. Everybody's going to benefit from this. Okay. I mean, it would be redundant if I try to answer that question now after having gone through the mission and the vision statement. I am expecting you to now pen down the mission statement and vision statement for your BBT. And as I said, generally it takes a long time, but I have already given you sample statements. So please take 5 minutes for each statement. 5 minutes for a mission statement, 5 minutes for a vision statement. And in this case, we will accept plagiarism. If you want to copy what I have and say I don't disagree, that's okay too. But generally speaking, at GBC College, plagiarism is not accepted. You know what plagiarism means? Copying. Okay? You do your own work. Don't take somebody else's work. We take it very seriously. Okay? It's called academic integrity, academic honesty, meaning doing your own work. Don't take somebody else's as a reference and say, I'm going to kind of modify it and do things. Just keep your work to yourself. Right now you're doing group work, so this is okay. But when you go home, we haven't shared with you the whole plan. There are 11 online courses. And you would do 5 or 6 you will do before the second residential. If we call it first semester, second semester. So there'll be 6 in the first semester, 5 in the second semester, generally speaking. And then, so at any point in time, there are 2 courses running. They run for about 5 to 6 weeks. So you can complete whenever you want. It's not that much workload, but you need to pace yourself. So in those courses, there are assignments. Sometimes devotees feel rushed, pressured, because, you know, before you know, it'll be summertime, and then the traveling, and this and that, and you have to complete that course. And in a friendly manner, you might ask a friend, hey, what did you write about that? What essay? Can you share it with me? The answer is no. You cannot share your answer with anybody else, only with the GBC College. Okay? So please take it very seriously. Tell those who are not here, Radheshyam Prabhu, I know he won't do it. But please let everybody know, okay? So that's serious. But in this case, we are doing group work. Now you share, okay? And I'm being lenient. I have a mission statement right here. So you can modify it or you can accept it as you like. But generally speaking, we will not do such a thing. Yes, Maharaj?
Can we have the copy so we can go through it?
You will have the copies of this. I'll get it emailed to you, but not right now though.
Okay.
I'll get it emailed a little later. All presentations will be available to you. They'll be available online. All the residential presentations, they'll be available on the platform. You have not seen that. gbc-college.com, we have a platform, EDX platform, that universities such as MIT, Harvard, big universities, they use that platform for online education. So we have not introduced that yet to you because just your 3rd day, right? If we show everything one day, half of you might just leave and go. So we want you to stay. step by step. Okay. All right. Any other questions related to that? I know there will be many questions about grading, this, that. We will address all of those things a little later. For now, please take 5 minutes and review this mission statement. See if you accept it, if you want to modify it, or come up with your own. But you know, if this was not there, how would you craft your mission statement? If I did not show this to you, how would you make your mission statement? From where? What sources would you use?
I just used those, what did you call it? I used those questions. Why do you exist? What problem are you solving? I just wrote down a phrase for each one of those. Then I put it together.
Good.
Made a statement out of it. It looked funny. So I went back again and did it again until it looked like it had some.
Okay, very good.
That's just a process.
Yes, you're right. You will try to answer those questions.
Back.
These are the questions you will answer. My question is, will you start answering these questions from scratch, or will you use some of the groundwork that we have already done? So which specific thing that we have already done will you use to write down your mission statement? Please use a microphone. This is for the mission, not for the vision. This is for mission. Okay. Mission is, why do you exist? What results are you expecting? How will you achieve them? Who is your target audience?
Yes, we did this.
We did this. What?
Target audience.
Target audience. Remember, we did the audience analysis.
Yeah.
So you'll use that. Okay. What else? Please. Values, yes.
First thing.
The very first thing that we did. Okay. The values, beliefs.
The 7 purposes.
7 purposes of ISKCON.
Yeah.
Yes. So those are the documents. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj?
The BBT agreement.
The BBT agreement. So those are your source documents. You will use those and then come up with a statement. For your zone, I think you are sufficiently prepared to draft a mission statement when you go back with your teams? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, perfect. So please take 5 minutes, discuss with your team members, and see if you can come up with a mission statement. Use the values document, use the purposes, the audience, and you can use, well, better that I don't show you my.
Prabhupada in different languages all over India. Not necessary. You come in. We can remove. See, I'll tell you a difference. I'll give you an example. See, Amazon, it's an online store. Their vision statement to be Kep's most customer-centric company, where the customer can find and discover anything they might want to buy online and endeavors to offer its customer the lowest possible prices. This is their mission. Their vision, they kept only part of that as a vision, right? To be the world's most customer-centric company. What's their vision? So like that we can cut short. There's no, yeah. It should be meaningful from vision to vision. Okay, now let's try. Mission is that this is what we want to do. And when this is what we want to do, this is, now you are not the largest. Now, are you the largest? Do you want to become the largest? That is your vision. Now, are you producing material? Now you are producing material. 10 years also you produce the material. But the difference is, you will be the largest producer in 10 years' time. But you will continue to produce now and after 10 years also. Our mission is to produce material from the works of Srila Prabhupada. That is mission. The vision is, I want to be the largest, or I want to be the biggest, or I want to be the largest the goal. That's the vision. Yes. Yes. So, if you remember what I wrote earlier, vision, what we already wrote, we can modify that also. Inculcate the culture of Vaishnava principle among all Indians. This is our mission. Through Srila Prabhupada books. Inculcate the culture of Vaishnava principles among all Indians through Srila Prabhupada teachings. Okay? That's mission. Yeah. Yeah, right. Right. Okay, already we wrote yesterday. So, the vision is, now I'm producing.
Okay, I know it takes longer to do a mission statement,
Inculcate the culture
but you should be about finishing up.
through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada.
Almost?
Now,
Good.
how do I ensure that that is achieved? My mission is, every Indian home should be stocked with Srila Prabhupada books as their reference material.
Sure. Yeah, you can fine tune it later, but good.
Into your house, if they have any problem, they should refer to Prabhupada books. That's mission. Mission is inculcate
Do we have a statement yet?
the culture of Vaishnava principle in all the Indians through teachings of Srila Prabhupada. That's the mission. Through BBT.
Can you read that to me, please?
Everyone should have Prabhupada books, so if any problem, they fight each other.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Adding. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. So that's the vision. Every Indian home should be stocked with Srila Prabhupada books. That's the vision. If we like it, we'll retain, otherwise we'll leave. Inculcate the culture, inculcate the Vaishnava, culture of Vaishnava principle in all Indians through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Make sense? Every Indian home should be stocked with Srila Prabhupada books.
Okay. This can also be the mission of Islam.
Can be.
Yeah.
Can be.
Then how is it specific to the BBT?
So if it is BBT, the BBT has to be friendly with ISKCON. अरे बाबा मेरा बुक ले लो, सबको ले लो, ऐसा नहीं करते हैं ना अभी.
Along with
See, you know, Achitta Beda Beda Tattva. ISKCON and BBT are Achitta Beda Tattva. If BBT is not there, we are not there. Because that are the teachings.
But specifically, Srila Prabhupada said about producing books and periodicals. What is it? He was writing and he was going to write. So that part should be included. But there was
North America.
North America. They did not write about books. They didn't mention books.
They produce and publish.
So that includes books. Indians produce teachings of Prabhupada.
See, the second part falls under ISKCON umbrella. BBT per se, they don't manage and build temples. So, after distributing the books, 50% money what they get, they reuse for printing and publishing, 50% they give it to ISKCON. It is from BBT funds. So BBT don't have any rights to run and manage temples. They're okay, that's a good point. We'll see. We'll see. Inculcate the culture of Vaishnavism in all Indians through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada.
Producing, publishing. Quality products. Quality products. Research work.
Quality, material.
Material. Quality.
Materials and
Within material
tradition
books and
the temples. I want to try to integrate the part what he said. So I wrote, inculcate the culture of Vaishnava principle among all Indians through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada by producing and publishing quality materials. Yes. And okay. And build and maintain temples.
Maintaining temples is not very no, maintain means management.
Because Maharaj, his point is correct, valid. BBT purpose mission, we have to generate some income. Out of that 100% income, 50% is for reproducing books and periodicals, 50% is for building and maintaining temples. No, maintaining means annual maintenance, not that everyday maintenance. Suppose you want to build an additional kitchen. Not every day.
Got it? Everybody doing their own, or
This is the group exercise. Group exercise.
every Indian home should be stocked with Prabhupada's books. Yay. Okay. Now, one thing you have to ask, BBT does not stock. As I said, BBT is only the producer. The temples are primarily the wholesaler.
No.
And then the book distributor.
No, the vision is that the BBT wants to achieve that every Indian home should be stocked with Srila Prabhupada books. For that, they are relying on ISKCON or any other people as a channel. The vision is this. Because, my mission is inculcate the culture of Vaishnava principle among all Indians through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada by producing and publishing quality materials.
And build temples.
Yeah,
that's very good. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And build temples.
When we were doing the 7 purposes, we looked at all those other things.
That's what he said.
Excellent.
So, if this facilities are available,
Yes.
then what I'm trying to achieve.
Okay. Perfect. I did not read your mission statement.
No, Maharaj, there is a reason. Now you need to understand. Now, in India, there is no other place can print bulk quantity of books at a very cost-effective price than Shivagasi.
And quality product.
No, I'm saying, in India, you can find anywhere. That's why people from Bombay, they go to Shivagasi all the way. Somehow, Shivagasi is the mini Japan, they call it. It's a small town. I don't know whether you've been to Shivagasi.
Tamil Nadu.
No. It's a small, sleepy town, but everybody is a millionaire there. And they just produce this.
But from there,
No. It will be even still cheaper if you produce. Cost of producing the book is cheaper in Shivagasi. Transportation may be a challenge. Within India, it could be. Yeah, within India, it could be cheaper. Bangladesh, I don't know. It could be Bangladesh. Alright. Alright.
They cannot maintain that.
If the quantity what we are sure is regular, they may set up.
Maharaj, if we can purchase goods from Indian villages for selling,
Why can't we go
why
to Bangladesh?
Bangladesh market? In Bangladesh, is no, it is mainly cheaper and also cheaper in quality. Same thing was done, I'm saying, about Odisha Devaki and Bengal Devaki. They are selling in cheaper price, but the quality was not.
Maharaj, there are two, three things we are trying to achieve. There are two, three things from an organization point of view, 2, 3 things I want. There are 2, 3 objectives. One, of course, you're talking about cost and freight, all this. And one of the important things you want to achieve is uniformity. Uniformity in terms of the language and translation. No, the reproduction. The typesetting, what is done. The typesetting, what they do, is 30 years old. And whatever they do it in my book. I'm not saying Bangladesh, I'm talking about even Mayapur. I don't know. So what is the reason they, I don't know. We both of you know. What is the reason they think that they want to have such a So what is the reason they said they want to do centralized printing? I don't know. Crores. That's all Hindu? That much only Hindu population?
Total population? What is the total population of What is the cost of Gita in Bangladesh? And if it will be cheaper, they can buy more. So why you are not approaching the BBT?
Why are you saying late? Get him also here.
Okay, Hare Krishna, it seems most of you have written down both mission and vision statement. Perfect. some groups, I noticed that they kept in mind the 7 purposes. The vision statement and the mission statement that I presented, that was mostly focused on the 7th purpose. When we were doing the first day, when we did the values, the purpose, we became a little bit more creative. And we saw that there were other purposes implied that could apply to BBT, beyond just publishing books. Okay. So I saw your group. Can you please read your mission statement?
Inculcate the culture of Vaishnava principles among all Indians through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada by producing and publishing quality materials and build temples.
Did you see? So he brought in building temples, and also he expanded on the first part. It's not only just publishing and producing literatures or books, inculcating that culture, because that was in the purposes. So that's a more comprehensive mission statement. So please keep that in mind. That's why I said 4 things that you will use: the 7 purposes, the agreement, the values based on the first day's work, and then the audience analysis. Okay, very good. You can respond on it, yeah.
Just a thought that when you say build temples, I don't know how, I can't understand how that becomes a BBT
Okay.
mission.
So let him read the
Because
vision
yeah,
statement.
while part of the trust fund talks about contributing to the building of the temple is actually the ISKCON temple's role.
Good
not
point.
BBT's.
Let him present his perspective.
Yeah, I think, from extracting from the trust agreements, that we have some onus and responsibility to be part of supporting the ISKCON mission too. So 50% of the process should be used for building temples. So I'm achieving one purpose of inculcating the Vaishnava culture, and apart from that, I'm also partly responsible for supporting the construction of new temples.
I understand that. My only doubt was in terms of, couldn't that have been phrased in a manner that BBT actually supports the building of temples rather than building the temple?
ISKCON will not
directly?
build temple. BBT will help ISKCON to build temple.
Yeah, that part I'm saying that
Yeah.
help part other than saying and build temples. If ISKCON were to say build temples,
Help ISKCON to build temple.
Okay, all right, resolved. So this is called wordsmithing. We can always refine it. Thank you for that input. Okay, so you get an idea. Devkinandan Prabhuji, please.
Now, carrying forward from there, this is going to be
Please.
this is going to be public, on public demo it will be there, right? So the time you write the mission statement for BBT and all this thing to build the temple, and when we go to the donor to ask for money, they say, "Hey, your BBT, get money from BBT to build your temple. Why are you coming to me?" So it will
Money is going abroad.
Okay. All right, Prabhus. As I said, we can have the rest of the afternoon talking about mission and vision statement, but I'm glad that you are all perked up. You are excited about doing this for your zone when it comes to it. Okay. So when you work with your team, you'll have fun doing it. Now, the next part is going to be as I said, I won't call it challenging, but you'll have to really exercise your mind. Okay. If you have this sheet, right, Appendix C, that we distributed, this one sheet. Now this is where rubber meets the road, if you know what that means. So now is the test to put these things together and develop strategies. And let's take some examples. So this is how it works, the methodology. You don't have, Prabhuji? Handouts. Can you give Appendix C if you have an extra to Radhesham Prabhu? Okay. Yeah. So everybody got this out, this sheet out? You need one too? Okay. You have extra? Okay. We have more of this. We have. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. All right, so everybody got one? Okay, once again, let's take a good look at it, what you're supposed to do. In these gray shaded areas, you see on the left hand side, it says your strengths. These are, some people call it internal, meaning these are strengths of your BBT, right? And the opportunities and threats, they are from the outside. We looked at trends, what was posing a threat or what was an opportunity. So we're going to write down your 5 strengths and then up to 5 weaknesses, if you have that many. 5 opportunities and 5 threats. We already did that, right? That information is available. You're going to transfer that to this gray area and then look at the first quadrant which says max. Now you are maximizing the opportunities by using your strengths. Let's take an example. The strengths that I heard, copyrights was presented as a strength, as it is, teachings was presented as a strength, warehouse was presented as a strength, and did you have staff also as a strength? No? Quality, the content, yes. Staff communications, okay, so some groups had that, depending on which BBT you are. Multiple languages, that's also a strength, multiple languages. Okay, so we have the knowledge base, Prabhupada's teachings, we have copyright on that. We also have a big warehouse and we have staff. The opportunity, if you look at the opportunities were these non-traditional markets, the yoga market, the health conscious people, right? These are all opportunities, right? Trends. The digital media was presented as a trend, opportunity for making ebooks, okay? Or you call it something else. Opportunity for, what was that? Putting it on people's smartphones and all that? Online, Flipkart. Okay. Okay, all right. And then putting books in crematoriums and other non-traditional places, right? So you look at those external opportunities. Look at these strengths that you have and see how you can create a strategy, how can mix these two, how you can use your strength to leverage this opportunity, to exploit the opportunity, if you will. The word exploit is used in 7th chapter when Krishna talks about the living entities, they exploit the material nature. Right, Maharaj? Yeah, so exploit is not such a bad word. So if we can exploit the material nature, Mother Earth, then there is no harm in exploiting the opportunities. So how can we now, kind of reap the benefits from these opportunities? So what should we do? So for example, maybe we should have books for yoga lovers. Again, we're not changing the content. We are simply taking content from Prabhupada's teachings and making it relevant to the yoga audience. So creating what some people call the bridge books, the bridge titles, okay? Similarly, yoga markets, I don't think we have any book on yoga sutras or any such thing. Perfection of yoga, yeah, but not yoga sutras per se. I mean, yoga sutras is by Edwin Bryant, Prabhupada's disciple, Harvard professor, not part of ISKCON anymore, but he was a follower of Prabhupada, a disciple of Prabhupada. Right, Prabhu? Edwin Bryant? His initiated name I don't remember, but he was at Harvard, now he has moved to another school. He has written a book on Yoga Sutra. Okay, but anyway, so he references Prabhupada. I'm not saying we use his title, I'm just giving you an example that books exist, and that's a very popular book among yoga students. ISKCON, we are kind of the pioneer of spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada is the one who brought this outside of India. So we should compile a book that will suit the yoga audience. Look at perfection of yoga and see how you can kind of gear it towards that market. So that's it, that's a strategy. E-books, that will be another strategy. So like that, you combine these different opportunities and strengths and come up with max strategy. You are using this to maximize the opportunities. You use your strengths to minimize the threats. Threats will basically one day, God forbids, Krishna forbids, it might render BBT extinct. You saw encyclopedia went out of business after 244 years. So we don't want to do that. So how can we minimize the threats that we face, the copyright threats? We have to start looking into it, not wait for that day when that day will come that they say other people can do it too, you don't have the copyright. So let's be creative and start thinking about those. How can we use our strengths to minimize the threats? So come up with some ideas in that quadrant. Over here, use these opportunities to minimize your weaknesses. In other words, give reinforcements. Give me an example of a weakness. What's a weakness that we have? Okay, poor professionality. Okay, professionalism is not there. In terms of presentation, in terms of, okay. So we lack professionalism. What's the opportunity? There is so much opportunity. We have e-books, we have now the health conscious people, yoga market. Let's not touch the existing books, okay? The new books that we make, let's avoid that weakness. Let's be professional in our e-books. Let's be professional in the new yoga books that we're going to put out. We can also outsource the layouting. And once you do that in one area, then the current editors will see, hey, this can be done, so why not do the existing as well? So it will become professional. So that will minimize our weakness by using an opportunity. Okay? The last one over here is minimize your weaknesses and avoid your threats. So this is basically identify areas that you want to avoid. You don't want to be blindsided. You don't want to be hit by that. But plan ahead so you will not face that situation. Okay? So what can we do to avoid that situation? It's a weakness already, and there is also a threat. So what should we do to avoid that potential threat and not make ourselves so vulnerable because of our weakness? Okay? So yeah, in everything you have to suggest solutions, yes. So this is the idea, to suggest solutions, and they will become our strategies. That's what we will work on. So let's, as I said, this is going to be a little taxing. It's late in the day. Let's try to get at least one in each quadrant before we go today.
Is there a need for there being a one-on-one on each one of these, or it could be multiple solutions?
No, multiple. For example, you can use multiple opportunities and one strength. You can use multiple strengths and one opportunity.
No, because there's a fear that you list down the strengths, list down the opportunities, and so then.
Okay, when you list down 5 here and 5 there, and you look at your first strength, and then look at all 5 opportunities, see how one strength maps to all 5 opportunities. Make sense? So now you're looking at 1 times 5, where does it match? And then you exploit that. Then you look at the next strength and look at these 5 opportunities. Where can you extract? And sometimes you will see that 2 strengths and the same opportunity, you will come to the same solution. Okay? So the potential is, if you do 5 times 5, 25 different combinations you can get, right? But you don't have to go that much. Some of them may be overlapping, common. So let's give it at least 10 minutes and put our minds to it and come up with some really creative strategies, creative ideas. Okay, once again, use the same brainstorming principles. Okay, please. Okay, Hare Krishna. We have 5 minutes to go. I just want to get a feel. How was this exercise? Good? No one is frustrated? Good brainstorming? Not yet, okay. I'm sorry? Worth all the pain. Okay, so this is the point where we wanted to get to. But to get to this point, you had to do all the groundwork that we did. See, the advantage of having this matrix that we have, it facilitates and stimulates your brainstorming. So you have 5 or 6 here, 5 here. Potential 25 combinations. Look at the first one, 5 here. So easy to brainstorm, right? Otherwise, if you did not have this, somebody said, okay, what should we do? What strategy? Everybody will be just kind of, hammering their brain and nothing will come out. So even though strategic planning is a creative process, but using this methodology, it enhances your creativity. Okay? So I'm glad you are enjoying this. So what we need to do, I hate to give you homework, but by tomorrow, if you can fill up these boxes, it's a really interesting exercise. I don't know when you will find time to do it. But tomorrow, we got to finish up our strategic plan. So what is coming next is, just give me one, you Prabhus, just give me one thing that you got in one of the boxes, one strategy.
Optimize cost by producing more.
Optimize cost by producing more, okay. So, produce more to lower your cost. That's a broad outcome. You did not say by when, but it could also be time-based. It defines what you want to achieve in the long run. In the long run, you want to produce more to lower your cost. Give me one more.
Explore the option of producing e-books.
Okay, option of producing e-books. So that's a broad outcome. And you can say by 2020, okay? So that's an objective. So he gave me 2 objectives. Let's look at one objective, produce more. That's their objective, increase your production. For that objective, I have to now come up with goals. Produce more. I'm producing so many different books. Which one should I produce more? These goals, if you look at your handout, how many of you know this terminology, SMART? Okay, quite a few. Okay, since you already know, S stands for specific, M for measurable. It's there in your handout, just in case. This handout, this is Appendix E, Strategic Plan Template. Appendix E on page 4. Okay, it's maybe in the other one too. So it's in both handouts, the first handout and the second handout. Okay, so page 11, in the first handout that you got the first day, the manual, simplified model, and the one that you got today, Appendix E, page 4. I would go to Appendix E, page 4, because this is more relevant to us. In the first box, do you see it on page 4? You are in the other one, so this is the, let's look at the one that we got today. It's called Strategic Plan Template. This one, no this one. In that one, page 11. This one that you have, that's page 11. That's the first time you got it. The one that you got today, oh. All right, sorry, just now coming. Please, sorry about that. So that's page 11 in the one that you have. The one that he's giving you now, page 4 in this one. Okay, so this handout that you just received, page 4, the top box, create goal statements for each objective statement. It says SMART, the third bullet point. S for specific, must define a specific outcome, okay? M for measurable, you should be able to measure it.
A for accountability, accountable, assignable. R for realistic, relevant. And T for time bound. So this objective that you had is to produce more. We got to come up with a goal that is smart, specific. So produce more. So many titles. Which title? Name one title that you want to produce more. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So produce Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now it's very specific. Is it time bound yet? There is no time. Produce Bhagavad Gita, more Bhagavad Gita by 2018. Okay. Is it measurable? No. How much to produce? So produce 1 million extra Bhagavad Gitas by 2018. So now it is specific, it's measurable, it is time bound. Okay. Assignable, accountable. Do you want to assign this responsibility to somebody? In BBT, there may be one person that you want to make responsible. So Gaurmani Prabhu, produce 1 million extra Bhagavad Gitas by 2018 April. Okay? Realistic, relevant. Is it realistic? Can he produce 1 million extra Bhagavad Gitas by 2018? Maybe not. So scale it down to, no, it's nothing to do with Gaurmani Prabhu. He's excellent, he's effective. He could do it, but we don't have that much extra facility, printing. So then you kind of think through this and you say, okay, produce 300,000, 3 lakh extra Bhagavad Gitas by April 2018, and Gaurmani Prabhu will do it. So that becomes your goal. Clear? You don't seem so convinced. Yes? Okay. All right. This is good. So like that, you take each objective and make specific goals from it. So in this one, we did only one goal. There can be multiple goals that you can derive from this. So that was about Bhagavad Gita. Now look at the next title, Perfection of Yoga. Because you have to produce more. So there can be so many titles that you can produce more, and each one can become a goal. Produce more Bhagavad Gitas, this person by this date, produce more Perfection of Yoga by this date, by this person. So like that you keep going. So you take each objective statement, the strategies that you're coming up in those boxes, take each one of them and develop into goals. These goals produce 300,000 extra Bhagavad Gitas by April 2018, has to now be translated into an action plan. Do you want to produce it yourself? You have the extra capacity. So how will you produce it? What will it require? Somebody will have to purchase the materials. You'll have to order the materials. All those various actions that are required to do, that will come as your actions. So this is how we go from the mission, the vision, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, identify strategies. And when you are identifying strategies, make sure they are consistent with your vision. We haven't done that reality check yet. Okay? Obviously, producing more is consistent with our vision because we want to put a book in every home. So that's consistent, that's good. Consistent with our mission too. We are not deviating from our mission. And once you do that, then objectives, goals, and actions. So now, starting from the vision, the broad statement, hey, we want to have a future for the BBT, you have come to very specific action elements. Who will do what by when? Strategy objectives, yes, they are the same. Same. Strategies are objectives. Okay, I just wanted to give you a flavor for this. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's no, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so but you got this. So we will finish it tomorrow. So come fresh, come prepared, complete your matrix if you can. If you can't, at least you have some objectives in each quadrant, right? Okay, we are 5 minutes over time. Sorry, Krishna Prem Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Do we have any announcements, Kontaya Prabhu? Or can we hand over? Okay, thank you very much. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhus, for allowing me to share this with you today. Hare Krishna.